Hi everyone, I am Anonymous Traveler from Intellectual Exercise. Today I will discuss the occult symbolism of a tree and its guard. Also, I will share a technique to expand the boundaries of our awareness. The occult symbolism of a tree is something that has been appeared throughout the history of various civilizations. First, let's picture the shape of a tree. A tree grows both upward and downward. In occult tradition, it symbolized a universal force that spread out to various manifestations of reality. Therefore, it became a source of knowledge and sometimes immortality. And in human awareness, it symbolized the penetrating wisdom that reveals all the hidden secrets of the universe, both manifested and unmanifested. Let's talk about a few examples from history. In Babylonian mythology, there is a cosmic tree which provides all-knowing wisdom. In Persian mythology, there is a double tree which offers immortality and godlike supernatural knowledge. And there is a strong possibility that Christians borrowed this double tree symbolism to make up their own story of the tree of knowledge and the tree of life in the Garden of Eden. In ancient Indian esoteric tradition, there is a world tree and it produces the nectar of immortality. And in the ascetic tradition of Indian culture, those seekers were seeking the access to that tree and the nectar because it offers an all-seeing eye the penetrating vision to see and understand all things in the past, present, and future. Another famous symbolism is the Bodhi tree where the Buddha attained enlightenment. This tree symbolized the tree of penetrating wisdom, expanding through all the layers of dimensions. And another important occult symbolism is the existence of a guard for the tree. Throughout the mythologies of various civilizations, this guard always prevents humans from reaching the tree of knowledge and life. The most famous symbol is the creature called Cherubim in the Christian Bible. Their role is guarding the trees, making sure that human has no access to that tree. This guard for the tree is frequently appeared in the shape of a dragon or monster in other mythologies. And probably the most interesting symbolism of the guard is Mara in Buddhism. Mara is a supernatural being which is like a personification of the forces against mental awakening. From the ancient text, Mara offered a lot for Buddha to stop him from gaining enlightenment. And the most interesting thing is Mara's fear of this young prince Siddhartha, who would become the Buddha afterward. Mara is a guard who blocked the gate to the freedom. Just like any other people, the young prince Siddhartha is locked up in this jail, Maya, which is a great illusion that enslaves us humans. One person escaping this jail sounds like insignificant considering the number of overall population. However, Mara was scared of this young Prince Siddhartha's jailbreak because of its implication. Mara realized that if this young prince succeeded in jailbreak, he might inform the escape route to the other inmates. So Mara did all he could to stop this young prince from jailbreak. From the perspective of occult symbolism, such a guard for the tree symbolized forces against the mental and the spiritual awakening. And this guard can be found usually near the tree. I mentioned the existence of the inner gatekeeper and the outer gatekeeper when I discussed the concept of the inner void and the outer void, and this guard is basically the outer gatekeeper. Different mythologies use different images and symbolisms, but the basic role of this guard is always the same. They are gatekeepers, and they do everything they can to stop us from reaching mental awakening. And generally speaking, most people are in the state of dreaming. As long as there are food, drinks, sports games, celebrity gossip, and sex, they are happy. So those gatekeepers don't need to worry about them. However, there are few people who are aware of the possibility of a mental awakening, and that's what upset the gatekeepers. By the way, in terms of mental development and spiritual alchemy, one needs to clearly aware the human limitation. Without realizing our own weakness first, we cannot come up with a solution. So let's talk about the center of awareness among different people. Some people's center of awareness is based on his or her animal instinct. These are the people whose entire pattern of thinking and perception is formulated by their parents and upbringing. As a result, their pattern of awareness is very limited. For example, if they have grown up in an environment with a certain prejudice against certain people, they would accept that prejudice without any question. Another type of people's center of awareness is based on his or her emotion. They might be able to think beyond their upbringing, but their thinking is completely centered around their emotions, so they cannot really see the objective picture when they encounter anything new. And there are people whose center of awareness is based on intelligence. These are the people who can think logically and critically. So in terms of intellectual development, these type of people are more advanced than the previous types. However, that's just not good enough. The thing is, even when one is firmly based on intelligence, that intelligence usually shows only one angle. It needs to be trained to observe from all the different angles to complete spiritual alchemy. The universal symbol of the tree of knowledge can be applied to human awakening as well. Just like the shape of a tree, which grows and expands both upward and downward, in order to gain the ultimate knowledge, our awareness needs to be expanded in a similar manner. One should push the boundaries of awareness into all directions, and one needs to see from an ordinary or hidden perspective time to time to expand one's awareness and wake it up. Now, I am going to share one exercise to expand awareness and develop an ordinary perception. That is, keeping an observational diary. And I'm not talking about your average diary. On this observational diary, one should not use the term I. Instead, use the term he or she. And you record your activities for that day as a third-party observer. That's right. Everything you write down on this observational diary, you write it down as a researcher observing an animal in a laboratory. And that animal is you. You don't have to write this journal every day, but it's better to practice frequently. Over time, by observing yourself as an object of a scientific experiment, you gain a completely different perspective. I have to warn you, because if you do this exercise regularly, you will be surprised and shocked at just how ignorant you have been regarding yourself. And our goal as a spiritual alchemist or occult practitioner is penetrating the every layers of reality, both manifested and unmanifested, by any means necessary. So this type of exercise is not something to be afraid of. Thanks for listening, and all the best.